Hello, shed and steel building family. Oh wow, 12 minutes and 58 seconds till I'm out of storage. This video can't be longer than 12 minutes and 58 seconds or you won't get to see the end of it. So today we're going to talk about how important is my site prep for my shed. I guess you could say steel building too. So you can see out here, I don't know what this is, 21 AA elemental PZ crushed concrete. We've got this for our steel buildings. But I'll tell you guys what I basically tell everybody. These sheds are meant to sit on a level surface. So one thing with that being, you can see we put ours right on the grass because it's temporary storage. But to be honest with you, if you don't get a lot of water, like if it doesn't build up moisture or puddle up and you don't have a rodent issue, then putting it on the grass is not a terrible thing. Obviously the problem with the grass, as you can see here, it's normally not level. You can see that high point and it slopes down. So a lot of the times if you just have us bring it out, boom, and drop it right in your yard, it's not going to be level. So then the transportation company, free of charge, will shim the building. Normally they use ground contact treated lumber. Usually I have some floating around here. Back in the very beginning days, we had them shim the buildings here so the doors and everything operated properly. It was just too much of a headache to keep doing that, considering it's temporary storage. So normally that's what they use to shim the building, ground contact treated lumber. If you have cement pavers, if you have cinder blocks, they'll use those. But I don't recommend that. So ultimately what you want to do is have a level area to place your building, because one, the cost of this building, whether you're doing payments or whether you're purchasing it in full, is very expensive. Two, the longevity of the building. So what can actually end up happening is, you know, a couple of things. One, your ground could be unlevel from the get-go, and then you got the building sitting on shims. We've had customers that literally had like a 16-inch difference and it was sitting on stilts. And we're like, why would they, one, how could you not know that something like this is unlevel? But two, why would you want your building like that? So we don't recommend it. It's not, you know, it's already lifted up off the ground as it is, how it sits. You don't want to have it higher. You got to get a more expensive ramp. You got to take a bigger step in. It's kind of a pain. So what we always recommend is just get the area as level as you can. And you can see these aren't level. The doors and everything still work on them, but ultimately it's not the best scenario to have it on level. Now you can see that all these buildings sit on 4x6 inch runners. Let me show you. Now those runners help keep it off the ground so that you don't get a soft floor. So that's kind of important, but they also make it portable, right? So that way we can move it, get it to you, deliver it. You can see them from the back here. There's 4 of them, right? And you can see how unlevel like this building is when you look at it, right? 1, 2, buckle my shoe. I can put my foot right under the runner. See that? The runner is not even touching the ground on this corner. So obviously it's not a problem here because there's not a lot of weight in here, but if there'd been a lot of weight, it would tip and the front would be up off the ground. So here's a little piece of wood that probably at one point in time was shimming a building. Is your shoe tied? No, it's not. So, I would say probably about 50% of our customers get a gravel pad put down, 50% don't. And you don't have to have a gravel pad. You don't have to have concrete. You don't have to have asphalt. You just have to have a level area that stays dry and doesn't get soft. That way the building won't settle. If you have a problem with rodents, a gravel pad is better. Stuff can't come up from under the ground. You can put chicken wire around the bottom from TSC, and then they can't get in through the ground because it's a gravel pad. So I recommend you do whatever is financially best for you and whatever is best for the building. Now, in terms of the cost of a gravel pad, I used to have the pricing on signs, and I probably still do. So we'll go over that too. The pricing is not accurate anymore. I do apologize if you come in and see one of these. Rather than remake the signs, they now say see inside. We do not do gravel pads. We just have somebody we know locally who does them. He does a good job. He laser levels them. So you can see, professionally leveled gravel pad. back when this sign was made last summer, for $630, you could get a professional level pad up to 12 inches of material, 2 feet wider, 2 feet longer than the shed, laser leveled. So for $630, let's think about it. You're paying $4,300. So for 15%, is it? Right around 15% of the cost of the shed, you can have a permanent foundation for it. That is great. So, tie your shoe. All right, guys, geez. How am I gonna tie my shoe and hold the phone and talk about stuff? Here, look at this. So this is interesting, guys. I have no idea where that video just cut out, and my cheap Android phone won't let me even advance an video to see the end. So last I knew, I was tying my shoe and showing you this dirty floor that needs swept. So I don't know what happened. This is going to be weird because I'm going to combine these two videos with no idea where the other one cut off and where this one starts. So my apologies. I don't have the best of technology here to get this information to you, but back to the shed pads. So it's very important, whatever you do, you give us as level of an area as you can. Yes, we will shim the building free of charge. Yes, you can do it that way. Yes, a lot of people do, but it's probably not the best in the long run. And you don't want to pay to have the building moved and then have a pad put down and have it brought back, because that's an extra expense. Did I get all that out? I don't know if I got all that out. So anyways, so as you can see here, temporary storage. And you know what? These work fine. They're completely unlevel. The doors and windows normally open. And we'll talk about that too. Let's go over here. So, you can see these doors, pretty level right there. They're fully adjustable here. You loosen that Allen wrench screw, slide that back, and that's how you get your door to walk in. You can see this one is a little loose. See that? So if you slid it in a little bit, it'd sit tight. But sometimes when your buildings get on level, these doors can get messed up. They are fully adjustable on both doors. So you can bring them in, bring them out, whatever you got to do to keep them there. So this is temporary. Again, we check the doors when we drop them off, make sure they're good to go. So you can see even on just an unlevel grass area, the shed is still functioning and working. However, if you were to put a lot of stuff in there or be in there a lot, you would probably feel the unlevelness, like the pulling you to one side, you know, because your body is unlevel. So ultimately, doing a gravel pad, and I'll go back over here to our Miraculous Steel buildings. By the way, Midwest's largest steel dealer. Free quote, 7 days a week, 517-753-3210, justwoodandsteel.com. Click on that 3D steel builder. As soon as you get the building how you like, submit it. We'll get you a quote back, usually within 24 hours. So you can see here just how we did the building. And basically what it does is, obviously this has to be level. This building is built true. And you can see when they first brought it in, we did not have it leveled yet. I did a video on that. So it kind of sat on this wood, and then we backfilled it in. But the buildings is always built true as these are. These will sit how they sit. You cannot manipulate them without shimming them. So we're gonna go in one more time, and I'm gonna show you the guy who does our pads. His name is Josh. He's a great guy. He laser levels it. You know what? Rather than do that, just reach out to me if you want his information. So I'm not putting him on YouTube without talking to him. That's us. That's our website. Changethat.com to @gmail.com. You can do that email thing. 7 days a week, guys, year round. Sunday, we're here. Saturday, we're here. Monday, we might not mentally be here, but we're physically here. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And remember, we talked about how important a ramp is, and now we're going to talk about how important having a good foundation or a good level area for it is. I won't say pad. You don't have to have a pad. You want one if moisture builds up, because it'll disperse the moisture, stop the building from settling. You just want somewhere level where we can put the shed and you can enjoy it for years and years to come. I appreciate you guys tuning in from this glorious 57-degree day in Potterville. Look us up, and I will catch you on the next one.